Ladies and gentlemen, the unthinkable, actually, it's not unthinkable, but we can say this. Damian Lillard has finally been traded. Now, if y'all haven't seen the news, he was traded to a team that I don't think was in on anybody's radar. I don't believe so. I remember Miami. We all know Miami, the primary suitor from day one. They wanted Damian Lillard in their services. But another team that was starting to come out in the last coming days, weeks or so, was the Toronto Raptors. And I even went on Trade Machine a couple times, and it worked out for the Raptors. They had the capital for it. Of course, they would throw some draft picks in there, whatever the case was. I even saw Adrian Wojnarowski and a couple other people, Shams, I always butcher his name, my apologies. But I did see he tweeted about the Raptors as well, and Usam Ujiri. So, like, I thought the Raptors were going to be the ones, but it was the Bucks. And the third team that was in this deal, because we did know there was going to be a third team, was the Phoenix Suns, which was another team that I feel like it was a surprise. But what they got back, it helps them a lot, because we talked about them as a team that didn't really have much depth. But if you look at what they brought in, it kind of strengthens their bench, and it really helps them going forward in the Western Conference. Now, to break down the trade altogether, the Portland Trail Blazers traded Dame to the Bucks. Portland received Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, Milwaukee's 2029 first-round draft pick unprotected, and unprotected swap rights in 2028 and 2030 from Milwaukee. And the Suns received Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nas Little, and Keon Johnson. Now, Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, I think those are good pieces to come off your bench, especially for a team that basically had zero to no depth. Yusuf Nurkic, he wasn't a starter guy to me. I think he needed to get out of Portland, and the kind of money he's getting paid is crazy for what he provides to the team. Grayson Allen, he's a dirty player, not a guy that I particularly am fond of, but he is a guy that can knock a shot down here and there. He's not going to play the best defense, but I would say he's slightly above average on the defensive end of the ball. Nasir Little is the same. He's more of a defender. He's not the best offensively. He's pretty athletic, about it. He can rebound pretty well, and that's about it. Keon Johnson, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not familiar with his game, so I'm not going to speak on a player that I don't know too well. Dame requested his trade way back in July, so we've been sitting on this for the whole summer, the whole entirety of the NBA offseason, and we knew a deal was going to happen before training camp. You can't have a player on the team that you're going to trade there at training camp, because we've all talked about this. Dame is going to report to training camp. He's a pro's pro. He's not the kind of guy that, even though he requested a trade, is just not going to show up. If he is, that would surprise me. Dame doesn't strike me as a guy that would be like that. So we kind of expected him to still report to training camp in Portland if that was the case. So that kind of created a sense of urgency with regard to getting the trade done. Now, with regard to Portland and what they received, again, it was Drew Holiday and DeAndre Ayton. I'm not really going to speak on Camara too much, but with Drew Holiday, Portland said they're committed to their young guards. That's Scoot Henderson, that's Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, some dogs already. I already named a couple of dudes. Crazy, and Scoot they just drafted, so you're not going with Drew over that, especially because all of these guys, I would argue, and I don't think it's really an argument, are much better than Drew on the offensive end of the ball. Yes, Drew can be solid, but he's not elite, and we saw that in the playoffs, and that was a large part of why they didn't get over the hump and didn't get to the second round of the playoffs, when they needed Drew Holiday to score a lot more than what they would usually ask him, essentially filling that Chris Middleton role. He just couldn't do that. And so I think Drew Holiday is going to end up getting traded. I think that Drew Holiday is actually going to be a good piece to keep as a trade piece. You can get some more draft commodity back. The draft commodity that you get back isn't going to be anything too crazy, but if you could get draft picks so that you could draft a big, well, no, actually you got DeAndre Ayton, but if you get draft picks, which is even better, first of all, because their rebuild, it's on a fast track. But back to what we're really saying, you could get the draft commodity back so that you could draft wings and you could draft depth to help those young guys. And by the time in 3, 4, 5 years when they're ready and they've reached their peak, you're competing. You're at the point where you're able to compete. There's a lot of teams in the West right now that they're win now right now, but if you look at their future outlooks, it's going to be a little rough sledding with regard to salary cap and some of those issues. Now, in terms of the Suns and what they got back, like I said, a lot of us have talked about their depth and how it wasn't really that good. Now, I think a lot of us downplayed that depth a little bit more than what we should have. I think it was a tad bit better than what a lot of us make it seem and make it out to be. But with getting Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, and Nas Little, that bodes so well for this team. And it sucks to say because I'm a Lakers fan, but unbiased, that's exactly what the Suns needed to do. This was the perfect trade to jump in on. And I unfortunately, with Dame, I love that I might be able to see Dame get a ring, but on the same coin, I don't want to see Giannis get another ring. I like Giannis, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Giannis hater. It's just there's something about a guy that can't really shoot too well, winning and being the best in the world at basketball that just it don't sit right with me. And that's more so because I used to shoot. I could shoot that thing. I stroked that thing, cuzzo, in real life. But y'all gonna get that video soon. Y'all will see soon. I just, gotta get little things ordered. The mic'd up situation. Some logistics have to be worked out. But that's all I got for you guys in this one. Let me know what you guys think about Dame being a Milwaukee Buck. And let's not forget, he still has at least 3 years on his deal. I messed up my fingers. I don't know what that was. He has at least 3 years on his deal. He has 4 really, because that last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a $63 million player option. He's not denying that. And now I think we might be able to put the Giannis is leaving Milwaukee talks to bed. Like, I don't think I needed to touch on that too much because I didn't really touch on it before because I didn't really think it was all that, especially because I knew Milwaukee would do something to keep him in the building. That's exactly what they did. But that's all I got for you guys in this one. It's your boy TB with the greatest hoop stories and debates on the tube. And until next time, appreciate you guys watching, and I'm out. Peace.